That's why I'm
No. Just talk
leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes
No,
and I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please,
what
God bless you, but
what
please leave me alone.
happened?
Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I'm
No. Just talk
leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes and
No,
I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please,
what
God bless you, but
what
please leave me
happened?
alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop.
I don't care.
Leave me
alone.
alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them, especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. And you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Leave me alone. Please leave me alone. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm serious.
Sir, please leave.
Does this say, what do you think, Mr. Perry? It doesn't. What does it say? Leave me the fuck alone. Stalking is a crime. Voyeurism is a crime. Witness tampering is a crime. Coercion is a crime. Grand larceny with intent to coerce is a crime. Interference with contracts and commerce is a crime. Murder is a crime. Attempted murder is a crime. Hacking is a crime. Cloning is a crime. What I said is, don't fucking contact me again. In any form at all. What is happening right now is you guys, your own people, we've not seen one do this before. They got a voyeurism business, a peep show. It's broadcast all over the world, all over the net. So imagine the international implications there. What our witness said, actually, you think we really only have one witness? Well, okay, think what you want to think. You guys are not operating with a full load, so I don't think we give a fuck what you think. He said, as long as I've known Charles Perry, he likes to troll women. He travels without Jacqueline and his wife. Tells people he's out of town on business. Nobody knows what he's doing for really. What he does is he trolls women. He finds single women with kids. When they're not home, he buys the landlord, the maintenance guy, or a locksmith and gets into the house, puts cameras in the house, and then begins to sell watch time all over the dark web. These women are being watched in the privacy of their home without their knowledge and without their consent. He's raking it in, making a profit off of their bodies, the bodies of their children, their property, and their utilities. He's a sexually dysfunctional sadist. He enjoys making women hysterical, and I'm quoting the guy, so he can go rub one out. And this is crime causation, not lewd and lascivious. This is a sex crime. It's about criminal activity that's hurting a lot of people, causing a lot of devastation for a lot of people, and pissing off all the wrong people who are finally putting a stop to it. Every time you're caught, every time we quote you, every time you get caught trying to do something to me, what the fuck do you think that is? Mince of Queens? So he says, he will find a way to get them fired. He hacks them so he can see where they're applying for a new job. Make sure they don't get a new job. Then they lose the house. Then he has the ex take the kids away. He gets off on hurting women. So it's not about a date, Mr. Perry. Everyone knows that. Stop with the bullshit. It's about your business. You got a creepy problem and you hid it all your life until you fucked with me. I'm not your victim. I'm the bait. That's why your guy said, we've never had one figure out we had cameras in their house. We've never had one figure out we're causing their problems. Because you have partners. You have investors, right? And we've never had one send us an invoice for using her body and her property and her utilities against her will without her consent for our own entertainment and to make money for our profit. But she did. Cynthia did. Chief Hall's granddaughter. Police Chief Hall's granddaughter. What in the hell were you thinking going after cop people? And we've never had one solve a murder that we committed to cover all that up. When he pesters her and takes her money, we see things happen we've never seen before. We don't know who these guys are. I feel like it's just flicking at us right now. Right, okay, so remember I said a long time ago, rope-a-dope? It's rope-a-dope until my guys come in and land the knockout punch. We're just getting you tired right now. What'd you think it was? So I just throw the net out and you come swimming toward it every day. Perry types in my phone today, he's tired. Okay, well, here's what happened. You are an invader. You're a home invader. I didn't invite you here. I don't like you. I was in Dallas when I said this. Leave me the fuck alone. One time is all it should take. I don't love you. You make my skin crawl. You are grotesque. You're hideous. There is not a romance here. You don't have a real love life. You're sitting around watching TV like a 1-year-old little girl. Like a child. I think somebody told you the other day, stop acting like a kid. Act your age. You don't even know how, do you? There's something wrong with you. So, what the guy, you've broken into my home. You're sitting on top of me, raping me. I'm kicking you off. You don't like getting kicked off. Get up and get out of my house. It's that simple. Don't say you're tired. And then he goes, I can't stop. But you're being stopped. Because when I'm quoting what you just said, every time you guys call each other, and let's get her car. Get her kicked out of her house. Charles, how many times have you been recorded just talking about get my car? Every day. Since 2019. Every day, my guy says. We got a recording of that bitch, him and David Robertson, every fucking day, talking about wrecking your car, and Calvin, this Calvin guy, whoever the hell he is. We got a recording of those three guys every fucking day, talking about taking your car, just tow it, or wreck it, have somebody wreck it, or have somebody pull out in front of you so you hit them, or ruining your car mechanically. And how many cars I've had 4 car accidents in 2 years. So we know that's you. You always hit above the wheel. You always have your guy hit right at the wheel. You think we don't know? You think we think that's a coincidence? You're off your nut, Calvin. Who are you, Calvin? Charles, who's Calvin to you? This is Cynthia Ortiz. These are the Charles Perry Stalker podcasts. You're a stalker, not a love life. You don't have a love life. Weren't you told that? Didn't your guy tell you that? You don't have a real love life, and you have no cover-up. Your crime's not been this uncovered in your entire life. Stop wasting my time. You're taking time away from my business and my family for your imaginary world that's not even real. Cut it the hell out. Guess what? Everybody's sick of that, Charles. We do the disclaimer. Use allegedly. Nobody's been found guilty in a court of law yet. Apply the but-for standard. But for Mr. Perry, sitting around on his fat, lazy ass, perverting around all day, trying to figure out one crime after another, gets caught, and then gets caught again, and more than ever in his life. Wants to know who told on him, and then goes right back at it the next day. We wouldn't do these podcasts. Apply the reasonable, prudent, individual standard. And we assert all constitutional rights, including First Amendment and 14th Amendment. I have the right to equal protection, you misogynist pig. To the violence against women laws, anti-stalking laws, anti-voyeurism laws, anti-hacking cloning laws, anti-grand larceny with intent to coerce laws, anti-interference with interstate commerce and contracts or in-state with intent to coerce, anti-perjury, anti-obstruction, whatever else y'all do, sexual exploitation business. You're caught this time, and you just go right back at it. Here's your shovel, dig away, and boy, how do you do? You're your own worst enemies. So, long time ago in March 2020, Mr. Perry starts. It was right after we found out Mike was drugged and didn't kill anybody, because we all know you can't kill somebody by way of beating them to death and look like this. Not possible. His hands would look like Lucky's face. Lucky Miller, Manford Chief of Police, trying to help me, took a vandalism to my car report 6 days before the murder. So, Mr. Perry wants my car. Do I need to say it again? Mr. Perry's trying to illegally obtain my car. Mr. Perry was just recorded asking someone, I know who, I'm not going to say who, what if we get her car and then let her have her house? Like it's your choice. Like it's up to you. Like you think it's up to you. And then she can walk to work. Because we can see she's probably going to live under a bridge and it's going to piss these guys off. And we keep getting told on. You just got told on again. What if we take her car and let her stay where she's at? And then she can walk to work. And then at least we'll know where she's working. We can monitor who she's talking to. Yeah, I heard it. They recorded you. I heard it. You guys got leaks. You got wiretap orders on your phones. If you get a new phone, they get one on that too. You think they don't? So they tell me Mike Nealey was drugged. And we knew something was weird. I mean, the first thing in Manford, everybody in Manford was talking about the Texas Mafia got him. They got them both. So it's not like people in Manford didn't know. Everybody kind of knew. I'm the one that said, wait a minute. Let's get all the facts before we just jump to conclusions. You're probably right. But let's just see. Well, here comes February, and there's the television interview. This is from News on 6. Here's the television, and he's not saying I'm all beat up. Who did this to us? I don't remember anything. I don't even know how this happened. He's not saying that. You know what he said? I don't believe what you're telling me, that Lucky's dead or anything like that happened, because I'm looking at my body. I don't have a single fucking injury, which I would have if I were in a fight, especially one that ended up resulted in the death of the other person. You thought I wouldn't look? As many times as you guys have had somebody come to my work and ask me if I'm a police officer, you didn't think I'd look? I mean, we don't even know what to say to that. It's so easy, it's not even fair. You don't think about anything. Kind of like you thought you could go into court and say there's a political vendetta, and you know good and well I didn't do Texas legislation. You don't matter, Perry. You come up here to Oklahoma to live out some fantasy where you need an entourage, because people in Oklahoma don't know any better. In Lubbock, people know you're nothing. You're a nobody. You might as well be a dog catcher. You have one of the smallest districts in the state. I helped you get elected. Based on people's reactions to you, you had already done a lot of this stuff there before I got there. Why they didn't stop you before I got there, nobody knows. Sometimes it takes somebody coming in from out of town. Doesn't give a shit who you are. So everybody knows for over a year you've been trying to get me kicked out of my house. You've been trying to get me to leave the state. It's not your business. That's not your place. That's not your decision, is it? If they can tell me Mike was drugged, you think it's up to you? They didn't ask your permission to get that information to me, did they? You think they're going to ask your permission for anything they do? Nope. What are they doing with those recordings, Mr. Perry? Mr. Robertson? Calvin? Which law enforcement agency has them? So, what are you having these conversations for? Perry asked me right after we found that out, and then he got caught trying to kill me. I think I found a hitman that can finally kill her, and it won't be linked to us. What he's going to do is he's going to fake a medical emergency out of work. And she'll help. And then they're going to tell her that the guy she helped has a disease, and she's going to need a shot, or she'll get it too and die. And I heard your hitman say, what do I do if she won't take the shot? And you said, you make sure she takes the shot. You tell her she'll die if she doesn't. You make sure she takes it. And then we'll tell everybody it was just an unfortunate allergic reaction. And I didn't go to work that night. And I made sure that got out. I'm not going to die. I'll die when God decides I'm going to die. You're not going to kill me. You've tried. You've tried more than once. That is attempted murder in the first degree. It's not second degree. It's not neglect. It's intentional, willful, malicious forethought. You took a life. And you did that here too. Because you asked me, how did I know Mike had to be coaxed? Everybody, all you guys that are cops, that are involved in this situation into one capacity or another, and there's various ways that could be. When you get coaxed, you better not go. Don't go. They want to meet you somewhere, do not go. You have them meet you down at where you feel safe. Oh, they're killing cops. They're killing cops. So what did I say just happened not long ago? Y'all making phone calls trying to figure out who's helping me. Yeah, guess what? We got a call from those guys doing that sex exploitation business in Texas. And they killed the cop. Guess who figured it out? Who? Lynn's kid. Lynn Hall's kid. The chaplain that we used to have when we were all in New Mexico, which we're not now. He was a chaplain for decades, like 20 years, 30 years. So go fetch that. Go find that. And guess what? My guy says, you are not allowed to tell anybody. If they ask you about it again, you tell them you don't know what the hell she's talking about. So when you're told that, how do you know who's telling the truth and who's lying? We know what we're doing. We're very good at it. We've done what nobody else has done. Right? So after that, Perry starts offering me a bribe. He wants to buy a lie. Starve her into a lie. Starve her into a situation where she feels so desperate she has to take the bribe and lie for us. Well, you keep doing what we say, so what am I supposed to lie about? You're stupid. You're so stupid. So, I mean, that's been discussed too. She did say he was threatening false arrest and death. And then, she's got all these texts from Dave. Is it arsenic? Let your life fade away. So it looks like he tried to kill her. And then he did carry out the false arrest because he knew she had to file a police report to get a protective order. And if you're getting threatened with death and false arrest, you need a protective order. So what is she supposed to lie about? Mike was drugged. She said it before they did depositions, where the first responders are telling everybody, yeah, they testified. We gave him Narcan for drug overdose. He didn't have a thump on the head. He didn't have a head injury because he didn't have an injury from being in a fight. He was drugged. He was found unconscious, in respiratory distress, and dying. So what in the hell do they think she's supposed to lie about? He's doing exactly what she says. He is trying to take her car. He is trying to get her kicked out of her house. He is coercing, causing duress, trying to make her, against her will, do something she doesn't want to, or she change her testimony. That's a crime. It's called witness tampering. So I assert my equal protection right to Title 18 of the United States Code 1512 and retaliation 1513. You don't have the right to do what you're doing to me. You don't. You're being stopped. You're just stupid. You don't know that. You're not getting it. You just go right back at it every day. Here's your shovel. Dig away. So after that, Perry's like offering me bribes and shit. I'll give you whatever you want. And I said, no, you will not. You're not interested in giving me whatever I want. Because if you want to give me something, give back everything you took. And get out. And that includes Mike Nealey goes home. Had you done that then in March 2020 and come out and said, and by the way, Mr. Powell, that's not extortion. I'm countering his offer. And I'm countering it really with not, if you listen to the way I worded that, there's not really an expectation he's really going to do it. I'm making a point, sir, that he's lying when he says, I'll give you what you want. I'll give you whatever you want if you lie for me. And I'm saying, no, I don't think that's the case. I think you're going to give me what you want. And I'm not going to lie for you. I think you don't mean it when you say I'll give you whatever you want. Because you know what I want? I want you to give back everything you took and get out of my life. And my guess is you're not going to do that voluntarily. These guys giving me all this information are going to do it for you. And they are doing it for you every time you're told on. You're just not smart enough to put that together. So, Mr. Powell, that is not extortion. That is making a point. You're full of shit. You promised when I was in jail never to contact me again, and I didn't ask for money. All I said is, all I want for him to do is never contact me again. Leave me the fuck alone. And you didn't. He didn't keep the promise. He didn't keep his promise to Jacqueline, his wife, to be loyal to her. So how would you trust anything he says? I'll give you whatever you want. That's bullshit. No, you won't. And that was what I was trying to explain to him. You're full of crap. It's not extortion, Matt. You guys just look for every little thing, twist every little thing I say, and people are getting aggravated at you because really, you just look stupid. You ought to be able to understand what I'm saying. We're irritated with you that you can't. People have to help you. I've never seen anything like it. So, Mr. Perry, though, had he done that, though, and included getting Mike Nealey home to his wife, had he come out in March 2020 and said, she's right, there is not a mark on him, and he's found drugged, so he couldn't have done it, but we didn't do it either, and we don't want to be suspected of doing the vandalism or the murder, so let's find out who did do it. Let him go home. Let's find out who did this. And you didn't do that. Instead, you have caused duress and try to get me kicked out of my house, try to get me take my car, try to starve me into a lie. Witness tampering, witness tampering, witness tampering, witness tampering, witness tampering. You don't make somebody lie if they're already lying. People are starting to notice, Charles. There's hearing after hearing that both parties should have been there. I should have been there to say what I know, testify for Mike. In my civil cases, here's the text, judge or jury, and you made sure you concealed material facts by keeping me out of court. You suborned perjury, sir. You need an attorney that knows how to read the fucking law, because I assure you there's a prosecutor helping me that does. And you are off your nut if you think you would ever get a date with me. It's been 12 years. You've got no date. You have no real love life. I can't stand you. You're getting kicked off me. You're getting sued off me. You're getting kicked off me. You're getting your eyeballs scratched out and you're tired. Just get off me. Dumb fuck. It's not hard. Anybody else would know. Maybe since you're on top of her, beating the fuck out of her, and she's hitting back, and you don't like that, get off of her. And you get back to Lubbock and you leave everybody here alone. Your entourage, it's hysterical. Charles Perry comes up with an entourage and tells everybody she's a threat. And that is bullshit. She moved twice to get, I'm quoting somebody. She moved twice to get away from him. Sued him 3 times. Avoided work by paying $5,000. $5,000. A single mom, barely making it. Paid her boss $5,000 because she was too scared to go to work when he posed the threat. And you got Pinto, you got Mickey James, and you got Dave Robertson all contacting her at her workplace where you got to go if you want to make money to eat and take care of your child and feed yourself and pay for a roof over your head. And he would threaten her life. He threatened her life at her work. She paid $5,000 to avoid having to be around a threat. He's up in Oklahoma all the time. They can't get that bitch to leave. So he's not under threat. He's imagining that. There is no political vendetta. He imagined that too. There would be a text or an email rant somewhere. There's nothing. All her rants are about stalking. Back to 2011. There's not one rant anywhere about anything political at all. He was the new guy. She didn't need him for anything. She didn't do Texas legislation. I didn't do state. I did federal. In 2012, after those 2011 emails, I did some in New Mexico because it affected my family. Somebody in my family hurt a kid. And I wanted to make sure that didn't happen again. I got tired of hearing a kid cry for 2 hours about their life getting blown up by my family. So I wanted to make it right with them. And so the only thing I could figure out, I couldn't do it. I didn't have the money to give them to pay back the time they lost and the other things they lost. But what I could do is, let's make sure this doesn't happen again to any other kid. What we worked on was child abuse in teen rehab facilities. If it's faith-based, they don't take state or federal funds. There's no oversight. It's a church camp. Freedom of religion. Open up a place where kids come and supposedly get help for drug abuse or whatever. Take private money, church donations, and you can abuse the hell out of them. And unfortunately, my parents did. So there was very little, there was some limitations on what the state government could do to protect those children. So we tried to make the laws change so that there was at least some oversight. There was a federal law, Mr. Perry, just the same as we were trying to pass in New Mexico, that I asked Randy Nagelbauer to support, and he voted against it twice. So if I was going to make up a weird story and not tell anybody for 4 years, then move twice, and then say something to the media, it would have been about that, not you. You didn't matter. You still don't. Your little entourage is bullshit. You come up here and pretend like you are a hotshot, he said. He wishes he was a hotshot. Everybody in Lubbock knows he's not. So he can't get away with acting like that in Lubbock. He comes up to Oklahoma, they can't get him to leave. He's living in a fantasy land, pretending he matters. And the people in Oklahoma don't know any better. But he's sure as shit not under threat. You don't go where the threat is and refuse to leave. She didn't. She paid $5,000 to avoid a threat. So don't tell me he feels like he's under threat. And that entourage is a bit much. He's living in a fantasy land. That's all that is. And the second fantasy was he's got a political vendetta. Where? And the third thing is he made up he signed a forged a marriage license and told everybody that was his wife. Does his wife know he has 2 wives? He thinks he has 2 wives. I didn't agree to that. In fact, I still to this day have not seen that marriage license, and I've asked for it. Give me a copy of it. You know how I knew it existed? First, Pinto alluded to it when he said in the recording, "Your husband sent me." I'm sorry, I didn't record that part. "Your husband sent me." Well, I'm not married, so you have the wrong person. What's a girl look like that you came here to see? No, you're her. No, I'm not her. I don't have a husband. Well, that Texas senator. Oh, God. Well, you mean the kook? The whack job? Yeah, I'm not his wife. I mean, we're not married. He's a stalker. I'm suing him. Well, you're occupied. We had a big argument. I started to flip on my recorder. What I could have done is had my manager, I mean, we were standing at the bar. My manager was standing right across from me, doing the bartending. I could have said, "Get this guy out of here. He works for the stalker." Guess what I didn't? I didn't do that. I flipped on my recorder. I got my evidence. I did my job. Nobody's ever done that to you before, have they? And yet you keep poking the bear. What the hell does that even mean, poke the bear? You guys told me that. When I get to jail, they're all like, "You poked the bear." And I'm like, the fuck does that even mean? Little weird Perry is a bear? Come on. Oh, what the hell? So, and then Chief Miller asked me about it. Did you sign a marriage license? Was there a ceremony or anything? Nope. Fuck no. You're shitting me with that question, right? Well, I didn't think so. I said, this doesn't look like your signature. It looks to me like it's a forgery. So I've asked for the copy of the marriage license. There's no such thing. I mean, I'm sorry. There probably is a forged marriage license floating around out somewhere. I've not seen it. There's not a real marriage. There was no consent. There was not a ceremony. There's nothing. So basically what the man said, and I'm quoting again, he had 3 different stories, all bullshit, and no evidence to support any of them. How embarrassing. So you came up here with an entourage, pretended you're under threat, while telling people that we had a romance that doesn't exist, and that you have a political threat doesn't exist either. And you think people aren't supposed to think you're wacky? Okay. I don't even know what to say to that. I really don't. I have no idea. This guy here, I'm upset. We're all upset because he's still in jail. People think he killed someone. We know good and well he didn't. And you're letting him sit there day after day after. Somebody told me the other day, y'all told him something and it made him scream. What'd you tell him? What happened? Why would you put him through that? What are you putting him through? How many times has his cell been tossed looking for something that he might be talking to my guys with? I'm going to tell you something. If my guys want to talk to Mike Nealey, you won't know it. You will not find a fucking thing. Fabian Puzzle got to me in jail. And you have no idea what else was in that book, do you? We might have words that mean something different to us than what they mean to you. They're very good at what they do, Charles. There's a reason they've done what no one else has done. We don't need your help. And they didn't ask your permission. So when you start sitting around planning something, maybe we take her car and let her go ahead and keep that apartment that we're getting it kicked out of. You know, somebody's already reviewed that. There's clear evidence here that her landlord's acting in conspiracy with these guys to cause her duress, witness tamper. So, do you think somebody's not looking into that? Besides us, they are. They are. Lynn's kid caught this murder. They killed the cop. Guess who caught it? Lynn's kid. They called to want to know if we were helping. I said, nope, but I wish we were. They called us. Is it you? When I heard it, I was like, I got a buddy. I think it's him. He does shit like that. And he said, it is, but you're not allowed to say anything. If you get asked about it, you have no idea what the hell she's talking about. How do you know who's lying about that and who's telling the truth? You don't, and you won't. We're good at what we do. That is the Fabian puzzle. Did they ask your permission, Mr. Perry, to get that to me in jail? You think they can't get something to Mike if they want to? Or from him if they want to? And you'll never know it? Did you know I had that? Did you know they got that to me? Until after I said something about it? Until I pointed it out to somebody? You had no idea I had that, did you? It's very specific to me. You're the butt-in. You're selfish and you're a butt-in. And you're causing fear and sadness. And people hate you for it. And because they hate you more and more by the day, it's not hard to get information. Can we just take the car and let her stay where she's at, and then she can walk to work, and then we know where she's working and who she's around and who she's talking to? I think you need to leave her alone. I think you need to leave her alone. Yeah. Because every time you don't get a date, you get told on. And told on, and told on. And there's a lot of ways they can get that. A lot of ways they can get that. Leaks and wiretap orders. You get a new phone, you think they're not going to get a wiretap order on that one? You think they won't know? I promise you they will. If they can get that to me in jail, they don't need your permission. They didn't ask you. Nobody cares what you think. You weren't consulted. What were you told to do? Leave me the fuck alone. Comply with the law. Comply with the law. Don't bother me. Don't contact me. Get out of my life. Butt out. Butt out of my business. No one asks you what you think. We're sick of hearing it. And the more you cause problems and the more you cause suffering, the more pissed off everybody gets and the easier it is to get what you just said, like just now. What if we take her car and let her stay where she's living so she can walk to work? Yeah, because you pissed everybody off going at me again today. See that? How did you know Mike had to be coaxed? This contact was illegal as it gets. Charles, shut up. I'm never going to help you. Charles, listen to what I'm saying. I hate your guts. We all do. We want you gone. All of us want for you to be gone. We're normal. You're an imposition and a burden. We're all sick and tired of dealing with it. Your stalker, drama queen, soap opera, imaginary, pretend, bullshit. You can't get a real date, can you? See, power guys. I've known a lot of power guys. I worked in guys in federal, government reform. United States senators, United States congressmen, governors, judges. All the people that you got enamored with when I first, when you first met me, saw it on my Facebook. I know power guys. Guess what they do all day? Work their ass off. They don't have time to sit around and act like a two-mental infant like you. So, this is witness tampering. He's telling me, I know you've been subpoenaed, and I want to know before you go to court, before you testify, what you're going to say. How did you know Mike had to be begged to go? How did you know he was coaxed? We like coaxing. Get her back out on that pole. Starve her to death and get her back out at that club. That would be coaxing, would it not? And you've said that about me, have you not? It's recorded. What are we doing with those recordings? So, then he asks who's the other victims of Mr. Perry. Why? And I'm like, no habla English. This is illegal as it gets right here. You actually were bold enough to text it. You guys are something. Bold enough to text all kinds of shit. It's so easy, it's not even fair. So whoever gets asked to meet these guys somewhere, Calvin. Who's Calvin, Charles, to you? Who the hell is that guy? I don't know him. I didn't come up here to pick a fight with him. I have no idea who he is. So who is he to you? How did I get his name? Oh, police helping me. Who didn't need your permission to get the Fabian puzzle to me. Don't need your permission to get something from Mike or to Mike. They can do it without you. They can do it. You won't know it. You won't know it. So, this is evidence of premeditation, isn't it? How'd you know he had to be begged to go? Because if you want to starve me to back out at that club dancing again, and had you not run my money off to begin with, I would have been dancing. Probably still, maybe. I don't know. I'm getting to a point where it's kind of ready for something else. But you wanted me, you guys are getting in my wallet has shot yourself in the foot more times than we think it's funny. So this thing, you did the same thing. You planned murder in the first degree of a police officer. Those guys killed the cop. Guess who caught it? Who? Lynn? Did Lynn catch it? No, his daughter, his kid. Son of a bitch. Yeah. What are you doing making these phone calls? It's funny. It's backfiring on you more than you know. So this is evidence of premeditation. You planned it, and you had to beg him to go to Pensacola so you could do it. It's first-degree murder. It's not. It's malicious forethought. You planned it, and you do that a lot, don't you? So now your position of taking my car and getting me kicked out of my house and all this stuff you want to try to do is subjugate me and coerce. And larceny with intent to coerce. Interfering with my contracts. Interfering with commerce. To cause duress. To coerce. To make me lie. But you did what I say. You keep doing what I say. So what am I supposed to lie about, even if I wanted to? Which I flat out refused, haven't I? I don't need to. When you guys are all in jail, I'll get everything back. I don't need to lie. They got my money. They're holding it. I don't need to lie. I don't need to spend my life creeped out. And if they're getting what you just said, who has those? And what are they doing with them already? You don't know. But I'll tell you one thing. In 12 years, there's that, not a date. Never a date. There's not going to be a date. Mr. Perry's off his nut if he thinks he could get a date with somebody like me. Not a chance. Look at this. March 2020. He was drugged and not tested. Look at that. Did Lucky talk to you in the club? You want to know if I would tell you what he said, didn't you? Like, did you sign a marriage license? Because there's one with your name on it, with your signature on it, but it didn't look like your signature. And you're not acting like you want anything to do with this guy. Nope. Didn't do it. Why do you have to drive all the way out to my club? I'm in Manford. The police station is 10 minutes from me. He drives all the way out, an hour, to my club where I was working. Why do you have to do that to talk to me? Yeah, that was not cool. Sure shit, he's drugged. What is Narcan? Narcan is for treatment of opioid overdose. He didn't get treated for a head injury for being hit. He got treated for being drugged. Get him out of jail. March 2020, get him out of jail. Give it back and get the fuck out if you want to give me something. Get him out of jail. And at that point, you could have said, we didn't do it. We don't want even suspicion on us that we did it. So get him out of jail, because clearly there's no way. I mean, there's no fucking way he could have done that. Right? There's the arrest report. It says the same thing. Not a fucking injury on him. If you're going to be in a fight, you're going to have something. He had nothing. See that? Point out for me on Mike. Where's the injuries that look like he was in a fight? Read the arrest report. Point out for me. Where are the injuries listed that indicate he was in a fight? He's got a red swollen right hand. Well, there's an IV needle in it. That's why it's red and swollen. Red and swollen is not what it's going to be. It's going to be bruised. Beat. He beat somebody to death, supposedly. This is my kid. He was hit 3 times. Look at his face. It's all bruised up. Mike's hands would look like my son's face. At least. That's only 3 punches. Lucky was beat to death. Blunt force trauma to the head. Oh, by the way, nobody found opioids in Lucky's belongings or Mike's. So where'd they come from? Where did those drugs come from, the opioids that he was treated for? When the medical professionals got there and said, well, he's knocked out. He can't breathe. It's not from being in a fight. It's from being drugged. Opioids. These symptoms present as opioid overdose. So we're going to give him Narcan. And guess what? He came to. His chemical composition in his blood changed. once they gave him the Narcan. Now it's too late to get a fucking blood test, isn't it? Brady violation. Guess what happened to me? Same fucking thing. Same fucking thing. It's your MO. Once you see a pattern, you cannot unsee it. There is no such thing as coincidence in policing, by the way. There's my name on a witness list, Perry. You don't get to witness tamper. And you don't get to retaliate, because I not only did I get to do a deposition, I filed 2 motions to intervene when it became obvious you weren't going to let me testify. I was like, oh, hell no. Hell no. He needs a voice. He's an officer down in need of assist. I'm a cop family. We don't just let officers just be left behind. That isn't what we do. We're cop family. We make sure we take care of each other against bitches like Perry. Little pathetic bitches that think everybody owes them something. I'm going to shit up your life and you're going to wipe my ass for me, right? Is that lewd and lascivious? Does that hurt your feelings? Somebody else said that. I'm quoting them. Somebody else said that a long time ago. That they were getting tired of you making people do that. Because you're a grown-ass man. You make a mistake, you fix it. Because you were asking him to do it. It was a guy. Anyways. You act like you're literally an infant child. Can't take care of yourself. It's very embarrassing. Look at all that. Let your life fade away. I gave you arsenic. And justice was obstructed in my case. You know how to file a police report. By law, I got to file it. Charles, I want for you to shut up. Listen to the words I'm saying to you, sir. When you invade my privacy, when you contact me in any form at all, when you peep and hack, when you cause me any kind of hardship, loss, or problems or suffering, we get more and more and more. Like what you just said. Can we take her car? And maybe we'll let her stay where she's living and she can walk to work. That way we can keep an eye on where she's working and who she's talking to. Recorded. Mike was drugged. My guys tell me that. Who has these recordings? The more you fuck with me, the more we get. Because you know why? Everybody's sick of you and your suffering and the hardships you're causing. Everybody hates your guts. You are one big bunch of hated dudes. Hated, seething resentment and animosity against you. Because you're causing so many people so much crap. Taking a lot of people's time. A lot of people's money. It's not your right. You are not entitled to shit. You need to act like a grown man. Everybody gets rejected. Everybody else moves on. Why can't you? You can't keep up? You slow? You inept? Are you a mental inept? Looks to me like you are. You're not sexy. You disgust me. You didn't find a great new way to pick up chicks. You found a way to get your ass kicked. Your crime hasn't been caught this much in your lives, ever. You are hated men, and because you're hated, you're told on. It's not hard to get information. Or they have a very easy time getting a wiretap order. So, I'm going to tell you again, that's the way it is. It has been that way for years. The McNamara email was the first. The McNamara email was dated October 2015. That's when I first started telling everybody he's trying to arrange a false arrest. And then you did. You obstructed justice. And there is a problem now for Tulsa police. You got cops who gave her police report. She's cop family. I come from 4 generations of cop. It didn't get any more cop than me. Cop family, I'm sorry. I'm not a cop. I'm cop family. And it gave her police report right over to the offender, who then obstructed justice and caused her to lose her evidence of attempted murder. The attempted murder that was discussed right here. Yeah, we gave you arsenic. And yeah, that looks like you were answering that question, Dave, because you then said, let your life fade away. You can't promise it. The stalking will end without death and destruction. By the way, Mr. Perry, that's not what you do to pass a law in Texas. It seems like you're extremely delusional and very unclear and confused about what your legislative duties are. Like you're mentally incompetent. It looks like you're mentally incompetent. Like you don't know what your legislative duties even are. How embarrassing. So, because my protective order first was denied because I forgot the police report. You have to do it. I did it, and on the 21st, not even a week, Not even a week. He carries out that threat in the McNamara email. Right here. So if they would do that to our, to somebody in the cop family, you watch out for each other. You do it. That's just what you do. And you don't think twice about it. TPD gave her police report right over to the offender, right over to the stalker. Are you shitting me with this? And then let her go through all that shit while she's trying to stand by Mike. Why weren't they standing by Mike? So now, if you throw your own people under the bus, I don't trust you. You come to me with a case where jurisdictions cross, or there's you think maybe you got something in our jurisdiction that's similar to your case. I'm not going to help you. I don't trust what you're bringing me. I don't trust it's legit. If you'll do that, you'll do anything. You'll throw cop family under the bus. We don't trust you. So don't expect any cooperation with us. Perry, when you contact me at all, I know you were crying and whining. I'm tired. No one cares. First of all, nobody asked you. No one cares. You need to shut up. We're all sick and tired of hearing it. What you feel and what you need and naked me. We're tired of hearing it. No one asked you. You weren't asked. You know what you were asked to do? Act like a grown-ass man your age. Like you're like you can think past tying your shoe. Like you are competent mentally and socially and emotionally. Act your age. Stop acting like a 2-year-old, spoiled, rotten little brat. Didn't get his way. Comply with the law. Everyone gets rejected. We all move on. I've been rejected. I crushed on people, and they didn't feel it back, and it was, okay, next. Literally, that's me. So why can't you do what everybody else can do? You can't keep up. It's pathetic. It is absolutely pathetic. Nobody owes you anything. You know what you're expected to do, especially if you want to be a leader, an elected person? Comply with the fucking law. You're not Bill Clinton. I'm sorry. You're not going to get away with stuff. You're not Bill Clinton. He didn't get away with it. He didn't get away with it. What makes you think you will? You're a little podunk nothing. Coming up here pretending you matter with your entourage. Living in fantasy land. Everybody laughs at you. It's ridiculous. It's that stupid. You're that stupid. Everybody's sick and tired of hearing it. Everybody hates you guys for all the suffering and problems you're making. And so they tell on you. It's cause and effect. A 6-year-old got it the third time. The third time it happened. Now, the McNamara email establishes a couple of things. It's intent to commit a crime. You intended to go into a court of law and lie. To perpetrate, to coerce me, retaliate against me. Witness tamper. I'd already put my court statement on the docket. It was, when we did the first protective order, my statement's on the docket. I don't want the guy's attention. I don't like him. I want him to go away. I moved here to get away from him. So we're cutting off all contact. We have no more contact. Get off me, you're getting kicked off. The guys that got me this recording, Mr. Perry, what are they doing with those recordings? Every time you contact me in any form at all, every minute you invade my privacy and butt in and peep and cause drama and cause problems and cause loss and hardship, and every day Mike Nealey sits in jail for a murder he could not have committed there's no way. The guys that got me this in the Fabian puzzle get more and more and more. Like, can we, maybe we let her stay where she is and not get her kicked out, and just get her car and she can walk to work, and then that way we know where she's working and who she's talking to. Record it. What are they going to do with those, Calvin? What are they going to do with those? How do I even have your name, Calvin? Who the hell are you? Have I met you? Have I met you face to face? You don't know what you're dealing with. And guess what? It's not up to you, as it turns out. You weren't consulted. Nobody asked you. No one cared. You're butting in. Butt out of my business. Butt out of it. Perry, if they can get this from you, to me, did they ask your permission? Because you're breaking the law and I'm not. I came up here not to have any conflict. You're coming up here breaking the law. You're coming up to Oklahoma, a different state where you live, and making one problem after another, after another, after another, after another. Problem after problem after problem. Property damage, David. By the way, did you know that costs each consumer, about $300 a year for the insurance? So what are you going to do? Pay consumers back for every time you had my car wrecked? Charles, don't contact me. Stop contacting me. Shut up. You are stupid. You shut up. You're breaking the law. You're being stopped. You can't do it by yourself, you say. It's being done for you, in case you missed that. Every time we get one of these. Nobody asked you what you think. You need to shut up. We're sick of hearing about it. We're sick of hearing it. So, you guys made everybody hate you, and so you're told on cause and effect. It's not hard to get stuff like this. Whoever you told about this got so disturbed, they reported you. And I've said that, and I'm repeating myself again, and everybody's very tired of the repeat. Charles, you're not going to get a date with me. You never have. It's been 12 years. You're rejected. And told on, and told on, and told on, and told on. You get the same results because you do the same thing every day. And it is piling up 33,000 emails like this, representing 33,000 recordings. What are they doing with those already? I said, leave me the fuck alone. Comply with the law. Act like a grown man, like you're mentally, intellectually, emotionally, socially competent. Or shut up. You don't have power. You don't have it. You got to come up here and pretend. It's just the people don't know any better. That's a con. You're running a con. You're a fraud. It's just the people. I know that's true because somebody in Manfred asked me about that. He's a senator. And I go, wait a second. Stop right there. A senator of what? You know, a senator. Right. Like United States senator, state senator. Oh, I don't guess I know. Okay. He's a state senator in Texas. His district is very small. He doesn't even have power in Texas. That's why he's up here all the time, pretending. He doesn't even have power in Texas. To have power in the state of Texas, you got to be in the Dallas, Houston area, where you got a big demographic, would have lots of voters to pull votes from, and you got to have, actually, you need a more volatile position as well. Because when your position, when your district demographically is a little more evenly split, then it's up for grabs. And you're all of a sudden, you're going to be in high demand. You will have all kinds of people kissing your ass. But guess what? Right now, you are in a small, teeny tiny district, way over in Podunk, nowhere, Texas. Might as well be a dog catcher. And your district can't be flipped. It's 86% Republican. And if you wanted to get the demographics more 50-50, you would want to move somebody in from California, bring a business in from California, or you're going to bring in liberal voters to change the voter demographic so that you could flip it. And so instead of a Republican, you have a chance to get a Democrat in there, which right now you have no chance of that. Those voters want a conservative Republican. That's what they demand. If you're pro-choice, you can't get elected in Lubbock. So what you would have to do if you want to change that is move a corporation into town where we change the voter demographics. But guess what? Your district is so small, nobody's going to put the effort in. You're that insignificant. You're that insignificant. So once I explained this to this person, and she's like, well, we didn't know. Exactly. You didn't know. He took advantage of that. He used your naivete to pull one over on you. To pretend. He likes pretending. But I don't think you got it done with Lucky, did you? Lucky wasn't stupid, and Lucky liked to go big. Didn't he? He did something right, or he wouldn't be where he is, and Mike wouldn't be where Mike is. And everybody in Manfred immediately said they did it. They got them both. You're not fooling anybody. It's the other way around. You did fool them on the Senate thing with your little entourage. But the people that knew better laugh at you. What an idiot. How pathetic. And that's why they can't get him to leave Oklahoma. He's been spending all that time up there pretending he matters, lying to those people. And they don't know that he's really a nobody. That he really doesn't have power. He just makes them think they do. He's just a low-life scumbag criminal is all he is. But my guys that got me this McNamara email, 33,000 of them that you know of. Because you're starting to piss people off. Most people don't like to watch one person torment, torture, and starve and cause hardship for another person. And that's all you do all day. You don't have a life. You're a bizarre bore. So they hate you, and you're getting told on. And in 12 years, that's all that's happened. And you get up every day, and you do the same thing, and you get the same results. And that right there shows you're not qualified to run for shit. You're mentally incompetent. Because if you were smart, as many times as you've gotten caught, you would get the fuck out of my life and never contact me again. And every time you do, Every time you ignore the law and my rights and wishes and you impose and burden, you get kicked in the teeth. Metaphorically, Matt. It's a metaphor, Matt. So, do what you do. There's your shovel. Dig away.